And welcome. There we go. I think we are live. Hey there, and welcome to the 8 Days of Christmas Land Challenge. My name is Jack Bosch, and I am going to be your co-host through the next 8 days. Today is joining me, Michelle Ferrara. Hi, Michelle. How are you doing today?
Jack, doing fantastic. How about you?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And we have people streaming in from all over the world right now. So first thing I would like to do, guys, is go into the chat box. Everyone, as you're streaming in right now, hundreds of people are coming in right now, and let us know where you are coming from. So again, I'm
Yeah.
super excited to join us. Welcome to the 8 days of Christmas Land Challenge. This is only the second time we're doing this as an 8 day of Christmas Land Challenge. We did that the first time last year. It was a huge success. It was extremely well received because it's very, very different than anything we've ever done in the past. Typically, you guys know us, Michelle and I, not this Michelle, the other Michelle, Michelle Bosch and I, right? My wife Michelle and I are the co-founders of the Land Profits Method, which is this method that has revolutionized the land industry and that has created hundreds and hundreds, if not more than, we stopped counting, but our goal is to create 1,000 millionaires with it, and it has created hundreds of millionaires already, if not more. And with that strategy of where we find undervalued pieces of land in the United States that we can pick up for pennies on the dollar, and then we turn around and we sell them very quickly on the open market at a discount, which is basically means we're doing land wholesaling. We do also create cash flow from land. We do land splits. We do land development. So we do all these different things around land investing. Now, the land, when we started this out many years ago, 20 something years ago, nobody was doing this in this industry. We were the first ones who came out with educational programs around it. We were the first ones who came out and basically taught this to the world out there. And as a result, we are known as the OGs of the market. But today we're here, and this week we're here to actually teach you something slightly different. It goes in, of course, it has to do with land. But here's the thing. In the process of mastering our land profit strategy, our somewhat like cookie cutter, super scalable strategy that some of our students are using to do hundreds, if not thousands of deals a year, we have also discovered a whole bunch of additional entry strategies into the land space. And over the next 8 days, we're going to share with you 8 such strategies. 8, that's the German way of showing 8. I think the German way is this way. The Latin American and Honduras way is this way. The American way is this way. There's different ways of showing like the number 8 or 3. So basically 8 ways to do land deals with different kind of strategies. And today we're going to talk about how to do this by going to tax auctions and buying land at tax deed auctions. I'm going to explain that concept in detail. As a matter of fact, we even have a tax deed worksheet for you, so the team can put the link into this right now, right there, ready for you. So you can have our tax deed process sheet, which is an extra little Christmas gift for you. So each day is a new Christmas gift for you for 8 days of a different strategy, some acquisition based, some disposition based, some more systems based that you can use and make money with in the land space. And again, so Michelle, why don't you, now that we covered that, Michelle, why don't you quickly introduce yourself a little bit also so we know who you are. And obviously you're my co-host today. You're one of our coaches. You're one of those 1% land investors that uses multiple strategies to get into land deals. And tell us a little bit about you, and then we get going right away.
Yeah, I started just like you guys. Good morning. I started by watching Jack do a presentation. I was a school teacher, you guys. I was a public school teacher. I taught theater. I loved my job, but I knew I needed to look for something else to really up my financial situation. I was in a kind of a job like maybe some of you guys are where there's really a limit, right? And I knew I had to look for something else. So I looked around, I found Jack. I was very lucky that that was the first program that I started with. And I ended up doing very well with land. I kind of exceeded my own expectations. I thought I would just doing a few little deals, but it grew into being able to do 6-figure deals sometimes. And, things just grew. And that's when I knew I wanted to take the leap, start doing this full time, and also become a coach and share what I had learned with you guys. So I'm so pleased to be able to help my students get their first deals done. I'm so pleased to be part of this community and very honored to be co-hosting today with Jack. So I'm very happy to be with you guys.
Wonderful. And Michelle, if I'm not mistaken, you literally did something like almost $500,000 in your first year. Is that right?
Multiple six figures first year, and just off to the races after that. So
That is beautiful, and that's what this is all about. Now, by the way, guys, not everyone is going to do obviously multiple six figures in the first year, but the key here is that there's many different strategies that belong to the land space. And the first strategy is the tax deed investing. So at this moment, let's just first take a moment for reflection. At the thing is like this week, we're not just going to show you a bunch of strategies and you lean back and simply just absorb them. No, this week is actually the perfect time of the year. Now, why is that? It's the perfect time of the year because we are, if you start the year in the new year, you're already behind the eight ball. Right? You need to start the year before the year starts. In other words, right now, December 1st, 2025 is the perfect day for you to start getting into the starting holes, getting out of the starting holes, getting onto the track for 2026. Because by the time that you have your system set up, by the time that you understand the different strategies, by the time that you pick the right strategies, by the time that you set your goals and have everything lined up, the new year is going to be here. The new year is going to be here, and what better way to start the new year with everything already lined up to have a rocket start for the new year, right? So we strongly believe that the future is bigger and better than the past, that we have, these have been strategies that we have been using for years, but we haven't been sharing them for a long time. As a matter of fact, the very first time that I shared these strategies was like literally a year ago. Like a year ago, and since then we shared them like 2 or 3 times. That's it. Right. So we wanna also reflect a little bit about the challenge we're facing and how we can improve on our lives. Like we're excited. We have been preparing for these 8 days. Again, this is going to be Monday to Saturday, where it's going to be one strategy a day. Then on Sunday, we're going to take a little bit of a breather, and you got to have a chance of like watching all the replays and catching up and things like that. And then on Monday and Tuesday, we're going to have our final sessions. And in the meantime, there's a team here. Like we have Jennifer, we have James, we have Sarah, we have David. They're all land experts available to answer your questions in between. They're also here in the chat. So if you're looking for them, so it's like just put something in the chat. They'll respond to you. They can connect with you via text, with their email, via phone call, whichever way you want. You can always go at landexpertcall.com and book a call with them to ask any questions and so on. But most importantly, these 8 days are not just about a course you're taking, but this is a time for recalibration. This is a time, it's like a guitar that's out of tune. Let's get you guys in tune, right? Let's get the harmony of the gift, of the celebration, of education. Let's get this all in harmony so that, most importantly, we want to get you unstuck, guys. We want to get you unstuck and we want to move you. The word of the day, the word of the week is going to be influence. The word of the week, it's like inspiration is for vision boards, guys. Inspiration is wonderful. Inspiration is like perspiration. It's like deodorant. You need it every day, right? But we want to actually influence you. What we want to influence you to move, to make drastic changes in your life, to have a shift in your life. So we want you to feel like, holy crap, my soul just came back online. Like we want you to feel like I found this one thing, and with this one thing, whichever one of these 8 things is going to be, like this is different. Usually these sessions build on top of the other. This one, each session is separate, is a different strategy. So that doesn't mean you should skip one, because you never know which strategy that you're about to learn is the one where you go like, oh my God, I have been waiting my entire life to learn this kind of strategy. And that allows you to step up and change your life and change the life of your family to the better, right? So, and that's why we don't just give you one strategy, because it's not one strategy fits all. It's 8 strategies that we give you. All right. So with that said, Michelle, are you ready to get going?
I'm very ready, very excited.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful. So with that said, let's talk about the first strategy today is to buy pieces of land in tax deed auction. So now what is a tax deed auction and why? Well, what does this even mean? So, well, in the United States and many countries around the world, when you own a piece of real estate, you have to pay, even if it's free and clear, you have to pay what's called property taxes every single year, right? You guys are familiar with that, property taxes. So, as a result, what happens is if you don't pay those property taxes, the U.S. is actually very, very strict about that. So I'm from Germany. I'm an immigrant from Germany. Michelle Bosch, my wife, is an immigrant from Honduras, Central America. We came to this country. Both Honduras and Germany have property taxes, but it works completely different. Nobody takes your property away if you don't pay property taxes. They put liens on there, and eventually I don't know what they do, and eventually they might take away from your earnings or something like that, from your W-2 income in order to pay the property taxes, but nobody takes away your property. In the U.S., very different. The wild, wild west. If you don't pay your property taxes, the U.S. has two ways to get their money. And way number one is they go and they do what's called the tax lien auction. So there's about half of the United States are tax lien states, and the other half is tax deed states. So in a tax lien state, what happens is the government simply says, hey, person A hasn't paid their property taxes. So what we're going to do is we just simply going to say, well, how much do they owe us? $2,000. Okay, let's take the $2,000, slap some fees on, and then let's put up an auction and sell the lien, sell the $2,200 lien to the highest bidder. So you can actually attend these auctions and pay for other people's property taxes. You don't get the property, you just buy their lien. And then when the owner then comes to a census, pays it off, or sells the property, something, you can actually you get your money back plus interest. Or if they never paid off, then you can actually eventually down the road, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, you can foreclose on that property. It's a great strategy to make high income. It's a great strategy to make 12, 16, 18, even all the way up to 36% interest a year. But it's not a quick strategy to get a land deal. So tax liens are great, but it's not what we're talking about here. Right? The other half of the country is what we're going to talk about, and that is tax deed auctions. Now, in a tax deed auction, the county, the state or the county basically says, hey, John over here hasn't paid their property taxes. It's $2,000. The property's worth $100,000. I don't want to wait. I don't want to deal with that tax lien kind of stuff. I'm just going to wait, county says, I'm just going to wait a couple of years, anywhere between 2 and 5 years. And then they're going to take that property and auction it off. The actual property goes for auction. So in other words, there is tax deed auctions happening all over the country all the time. In some states on a monthly basis, some states only once or twice a year. But there's hundreds, if not thousands, of tax deed auctions happening every single year all around the U.S. And Michelle, you have looked into that. You know that you've seen there's tons of them coming up, right?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, weekly. You can do these weekly. There's tax deed auctions all over the country, and you can get specific about which areas you want to go to, and there's plenty of opportunity.
Exactly right. So that's how the basis of that is. Now here's the thing. The beauty of the tax deed auction is that the actual property comes up for auction, and the bidding usually starts at whatever is owed to the county. So let's look at Texas, for example. In Texas, after 2 years of somebody not paying the property taxes, the county probably takes another half a year to a year to put that property up to auction. So usually there's about 3 years worth of back taxes outstanding. So if a property has $2,000 in back taxes, let's say it's a piece of land worth $100,000, $2,000 a year in back tax and property taxes. So for about $6,000 to $8,000, including some fees, it's the minimum bid. So you could go, and if you don't encounter a lot of competition, we're going to talk about how to avoid competition in just a second, you can actually attend that auction and bid $8,000 or $9,000 or $10,000 for that property and be the winning bidder of a $100,000 piece of land. Who would like to do this, guys? Would that be interesting? Getting a property for 10 cents on the dollar? Now, here's the thing. So that's what we're talking about. Now, there's some strategies around that, and I can already start seeing the comments from people say like, well, Jack, isn't there a lot of competition at these tax deed auctions? And the answer is yes in some places, no in others. So one of the keys that you want to figure out here is where to go where there's less competition. And that's again brings me to the tax deed process sheet that we're giving you, which has the exact basically principles that you want to focus on in order to find the best properties out there. So the team can put the link to that in the chat box, and also if you're watching this on if you're watching this through the perhaps to the stream and to the Facebook groups, then make sure you also watch it. You be posted in there in the comments. So the first important thing is that what you want to focus on is let's look at the dynamics of tax deed auctions. Now, Michelle, what do you think? Is there a lot of competition for tax deed auctions in big cities?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah, in
want to
big
think
cities-
about the opposite, right?
Exactly. So this is a strategy. First of all, we're going to look for land. First of all, where is there more land? In the city or outside the city?
Yeah, outside the city, right, guys? Yeah, absolutely.
Outside the city. Give me a heck yes. By the way, I'm wearing my heck yes t-shirt. It's my favorite saying. So give me a
It's a
heck
good
yes. So
one.
outside the city.
Yeah.
So the first thing is in the city, everyone and their brother knows about tax deed auctions.
Yeah.
Everyone attends the tax deed auctions. Everything going on tax deed auction is going out to bid up the wazoo. That's not where you want to go.
No.
You want to go where there's number one, more of the asset class that we want to get, which is land, which is outside of cities, a little bit more rural counties.
Yeah, more
and number
rural.
two, the benefit of that is that there's less people living there.
Yep.
There's less people attending the auction. There's less competition, and most people attending the auction going after what?
The houses. Yeah.
They're going after the houses.
Yeah.
They're going after the nice little house with a white picket fence around it, where
Right.
the owner perhaps passed away and nobody's paying the property taxes.
Right.
That's who they want to bid. But everyone else bids on that too. So what's is being left over on the sideline and nobody bids on?
The
Land.
land. Yeah.
Exactly. So now let's talk about how we find those. So for that, let me share my screen. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to go perhaps into something like you want to go into a state where you know that works, like Texas. And the easiest thing you can do is, if in Texas already, let's see if we search for Texas, there's Texas here. In Texas, let's look at there's places like here, this road between Dallas, Waco, Austin, San Antonio. It's pretty desirable and so on, but there's also a lot of land. And here's Waco, Texas. And if I go outside of Waco, Texas, here's a county called Falls County. Now, Falls County is right here. You look at it, it's rural. It's close to Temple. It's close to Waco. It's easy to get to. And let's see if we can find something about Waco, about that county. So what's the name of it? It's called Falls County, Texas. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Google here, and I'm going to go and look for Falls County, Texas tax sale. All right. And what comes up is Falls County, Texas tax sale. Okay. And I'm going to pull it up, and right there is a link that says, okay, let's look what else there is. There's the county offices, the county forms, the district attorney, tax sales on the very bottom. If I go there, it brings us, in this case, right back to the same page. And if I look at that, I look it up and I see, okay, a PDF comes up. Okay, interesting. And the PDF shows me that there's an auction coming up. Now, in this case, it's an old auction. Okay, it's an auction that already happened in January 7, 2005. But it probably means that the next auction might be coming up in January 7th, 8th, 9th, 2026. So this is an area that I want to probably monitor very closely, because when I look at what happened here last year, I see that this property was sold. You had an assessed value of $20,000 and an open bid of $4,000. An assessed value of $131,000 and an open bid of $26,000. An assessed value of $35,000 and a minimum bid of $7,000. Can you guys see how in early 2025 in this county, I don't know what the end bids were, but probably not much higher, but that basically a lot of properties started their bidding at 20 cents on the dollar.
Yeah.
Can you guys tell that, right?
Isn't that
And
great?
not
That's
only
cool.
that,
Great to see.
yeah, and not only that, but here's actually also maps. It shows you what these properties look like. And these are not garbage properties. Look at that. This is a road. There's a house on here, and this is the property right there. This property is for sale. This property here, this one looks a little bit like it's a little landlocked. This one, again, this one looks good on this County Road 269, right? Looks like a good property. There's a nice property. There's a nice property. You look at it, most of these properties are actually, some of them are houses. You see that this one here has like overlay on a house. There's a house behind it, and this one too. So what you can do is, first of all, and then you see some that are probably not such a good fit. Again, there's 2 more houses, but this one is again an empty lot right next to a house, and so on. So right here, excuse me, right here, right here, we saw there's a list that tells us what the minimum bid is, what the assessed value is, and it shows us the actual map of where these properties are. Now, in this case, it's an older, we can't see, have you guys seen the screen? Hopefully
I
you can see it.
I saw your screen sharing, Jack.
You saw the screen share? Okay, good.
Yeah, I saw it. Hopefully everybody can.
Right, so now we can do this in many different areas of the country. I can go right back here and I can go say, okay, let's look at Polk County, Florida tax sale. I can look at Polk County tax deed. I can click on that, and what comes up is the Polk County list. Here, the Polk County website. It's the Stacy Butterfield, clerk of the court in Polk County. And guess what? There's a calendar in Polk County that shows me when the next auction is coming up. And the next auction is coming up on December 18th, 2025. So yes, in this Falls County, we didn't find the property right away. We find something right away. We probably have to wait. I guarantee you, if you watch this next week and you go look for, again, Falls County, Texas, probably what comes up is the January 2026 auction already. So usually these auctions are being announced about 4 weeks ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then so you have 4 weeks to prepare for the auction, do all the research you need to do, and then attend the auction and bid on these properties. So in this case, what's coming up here is that this property is coming. This auction is coming up on the 18th. Now let's click on that and see what's happening here and what kind of properties are for sale here. Well, what do we have here? What this is here? Tax deed auction. Opening bid is $52,000 and the assessed value is $97,000. Now this is in Florida. This is Polk County, Florida. Yeah. Like we can go and enter this right now. Let's see, Polk, to see if that is a good county. Sorry, different county. Polk County, Florida. So we look at where is Polk County, Florida, right there. All right, so right there. This is between Orlando and Tampa. There is a town in it, Lakeland, and Legoland is there, but there's a lot of rural area around it, which is exactly where we want to be. We don't want to buy property tax deed sales in the middle of nowhere. We want to buy them outside of bigger cities, but not so far away that nobody's interested in it. Hopefully that makes sense. So this looks like a really good area. And now, as I said, let's go into, let's look into that. Where was it? Where was that?
Polk County?
Falls. Yeah, I know. I'm just looking for the right kind of, tab here.
Oh, yeah.
This it? No. Oh, there we go. So let's look at that. This property here has a minimum bid of $10,147.57, and the assessed value is $171,000.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's a piece of land or not, but that might be a house. Again, here, $5,000 and worth $62,000. So we can actually click, and the beauty of that is we can click on this, and now it opens up an additional kind of window, and we can see right away, what is this? What is this here? We see in this case, it's a piece of land on a lake. Anyone would like to buy a piece of land on a lake for $5,533 and it's worth $62,000?
Yes.
Like that would be an attractive kind of property. Again, these properties are coming up right now here in the next few days.
Right.
So what have I done so far? I looked for areas that are outside of a bigger city, but in an in-demand kind of area.
Right.
I can then I Googled for tax deed sales. It came right up I looked at it, and now I'm going property by property by property and looking up which one of those looks
Yeah.
like a good smoking deal,
Right.
right? So was that difficult so far, guys? Was that difficult so far, finding a piece of land? Now, let me tell you a quick story. When Michelle and I started, we came from Germany and Honduras with 2 suitcases and no real estate experience to my name, to our name. Michelle's dad actually passed away when she was 9 months old. Her mom never remarried, so was brought up by a single mom.
Right.
My parents, my dad is a high school teacher or middle school teacher, retired. My mom is a stay-at-home mom. Nobody in my family is an entrepreneur. We just came here to finish our college degrees, and then we got into corporate America. And very quickly we realized that this was not the path for us. I hate working for the man. I'm a natural contrarian. I'm a natural kind of maverick. If somebody says do something, I say why. Like if somebody says like I'm always like brushing up against the rules and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't just take rules very easily. And so entrepreneurship ended up being the right thing for us. But we didn't know what to do. So we stumbled into real estate, because real estate obviously has the benefit that you can make a lot of money with it. You can use other people's money to do it, et cetera, et cetera. And then within real estate, we stumbled into this tax lien and tax deed kind of world. And then within that world, we stumbled into land. And then from that, we developed all these strategies, now no longer depending on tax delinquent real estate investing, but our first few deals were all with tax delinquent real estate. So we realized there's many ways that you can find these properties, but if somebody stops paying property taxes, they're basically waving their flag, they're raising their hand for 2 things, one of 2 things. Number one, either they say, I don't want this property anymore, I don't care about this property anymore, or number 2, they say, I need money because I can't pay the property taxes. Either way is an incredible sign that they're motivated to sell that property at pennies on the dollar. Do you guys agree with me on that? Yeah, absolutely. So as a result, what happens is when we discover these strategies, and by the way, some of these strategies that I've shared with you this week are not super scalable strategies. They're not strategies that you do 500 deals within a year. That's our land profit strategy that we'll cover more later on this week. That's the strategy that Michelle is using. That's the strategy that evolved out of all of things. But here's the thing. If in one county, like in California, they have 2 times a year tax deed auctions with 300 properties, and if each time I can pick up 5 deals, then I can do 10 deals in that county with almost 0 effort. Is anyone okay with that? Right? And if a county in Florida has an auction every month, I can attend this auction every month and attend. And if a Texas county, there's 200 something counties in Texas, each of them has an auction a few times a year, then there's plenty of opportunity to do a deal here, a deal there, and a deal there. And together, do your own 10 or 20 deals a year just with this strategy alone.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So right here. So now there's a few things that we need to do. Do that. And there's a great few guys are asking good questions here. Would cost a fortune to build there, or like due diligence? What are the steps? Well, first of all, some of the due diligence steps are on the sheet here that we're giving you as one of our gifts. Like today, this is Christmas, early Christmas gifts. Every day is going to be a Christmas gift. But the very first thing you want to do is you want to do research on these properties. You want to do research on these properties. Number one, you want to find out, first of all, what are these properties truly worth? Now in Florida, the assessed value is typically close to the market value. So if it says that this property is worth $62,000, it's probably worth like 65 or so. But you want to do that. You want to do some value comparison. And the very easiest thing to do that is very simply, you simply go, what happened here, we found the property, right? We have the property right here. The property has an address. We simply take this address. We put this address, we open another window. We put this address into Zillow. And we simply go and search for this, let me see, if it lets me search for this address. And what comes up is obviously this lot here, which is right on a lake. And But most importantly, it gives me that zip code here. So now I can go to this, to the zip code, and it brought me that area, and it shows me here. And what I can do now, I can say like, you know what? I want to search only for land. I only want to search for land that is worth, let me see, only land that has sold in the last 12 months.
12
And I want
months.
to say only land that is sold. And it gives me a bunch of pieces of land here. And now in this, I would now go a little bit closer, but I can see that some property sold here. This is $50,000. This is 0.35 of an acre. I don't recall right now how big this property is, but I can also click on this one here, which now probably brings me to the county assessor's information. All right, and I would have to register here first. But if you click, but basically by clicking onto these different links, you can get into the exact kind of properties that you wanna look at,
Right.
and you can find the properties that you're looking at. But in this one is 0.61 of an acre.
Yeah.
0.61 of an acre. So if I simply go now, I go back to Zillow and I see, well, if 0.35 of an acre property is worth $50,000, then, well, and this one here is 6,400 lot is 22,000 acre, 22,000. And this one here is a small lot that's worth that. Then probably, what is this one here? This is, what are these here? You basically look around what other properties have sold for.
Oh, that was
And
a house.
that was a house, yes.
Yeah.
So I can see that if a property $50,000, that's not even on the lake directly,
Right.
is worth 50 and is only half of the size. And this property is a little bit bigger, it's 145. Well, then probably 0.7 of an acre would be like $70,000-$80,000. Is definitely on the conservative side for that lot.
Yeah.
Right? Who follows me on that? If I
Right.
find 0.35 of an acre, not on the water, for that sold for $50,000, and I find 1.7 acres for $145,000, and ours is kind of in between there, but it's a waterfront lot, chances are our property is probably easily worth $70,000, if not potentially more than that.
Right,
And
right.
that's all I'm looking to find out right now.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at, is it swampland? That would be the next thing. I would
Yeah.
dig a little bit deeper into the county assessor's website and do a little bit of research. And Michelle, you can talk about what kind of research do you do on properties
Yeah.
before committing to a
For
property?
sure, yeah.
You know,
I know some of you guys were chiming in about due diligence, and absolutely, you do have to take a look at the properties, guys. You have to see, is it in a flood zone? You have to see, are there wetlands? You have to see, does it have road access? You want to know about things like utilities. Are the utilities there? Does it need a well or a septic, or does it have city water, city sewer? Those are all things that you want to find out about the property. Those are really kind of the basics, right? To know, is this something buildable? Is this something that you could send out to builders? I know some of you guys were also chiming in with, well, who's going to buy these properties? There are a lot of ways that we market properties, and we'll be getting into a lot more of that. That's like a whole other side of things. And it's a really cool, exciting process that we can share because we've been doing it for a long time. So there are a lot of land buyers out there, whether they're builders or whether they're somebody that wants to build a home. So there are a lot of buyers out there. We know where to market the properties. We know how to market the properties. So that's kind of a whole art as well. It's all pretty exciting, and we have so much to share with you guys. That's why when Jack's going through sort of the comping or finding the comparables, just maybe have a little patience and know that we will be getting there. We're going to get to who would buy these, because there are definitely a lot of people that are going to be interested in these kind of parcels. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So that's actually, though, some great questions that you guys are asking. So the first thing is like, why would somebody walk away from that? Well, in a tax deed situation, there's quite frequently the situation that the owner's just simply passed away and has no heirs. So in that case, if the owner passed away and there's no heirs, nobody's owning the property. I mean, that person is owning the property, but like nobody's owning the property in the sense, nobody's paying the property taxes. And that's one of the mechanisms that the county brings that property back into private living ownership and from somebody that pays property taxes. Another reason is that the heirs simply don't want it. Like the heirs just simply live in New York City, live the vida loca. Now they own a property that's somewhere in Florida, outside of a town, in some lot, and they're like, I don't care, I don't want to pay this. Or simply the people don't have the money for it. Other sometimes could be that the father or the mother or the parents that owned it did pass away, but they didn't leave a will, or now it has to go to probate. And the kids are not willing to take it to probate because that costs money. So instead they just pay stop paying property taxes. Let me tell you one thing. Michelle and I have done over 5,000 land deals. Just around land deal number 634, we stopped asking why people let these properties go. And instead, we simply accepted the fact that every year there's $5 billion worth of property going down the tax sale route. And 50 to 100 times that properties are changing hands for pennies on the dollar from people that don't even owe property taxes, they're not behind on their property taxes, they simply don't want to own the property anymore. And we have received properties for $10, for $50, for $100 from people who just said, thank you, I just don't want to pay the property taxes anymore.
They don't want it. Yeah.
They don't want it.
No.
Right? So one of the things I would like for you guys to consider for the next 8 days is, what if this actually works?
Yeah.
Like, what if this actually works?
Right.
Like, one of the things I want to talk about is that in life, like, we are wasting so much time just being skeptical and being like envious and thinking about all the things that people have and things like that. Like, Michelle and I have done 5,000 deals.
Right.
We built this into an 8-figure business by simply just accepting the fact that people don't want their properties anymore and being ready to be the person that is able to take their property, or the burden of property ownership off their shoulders.
For sure.
Right? So the majority of the world out there will give you reasons why you can't.
I know.
Right?
For sure.
But a very few people out there will give you reasons why you can.
Yeah.
We want to be those people for you.
I want to agree and echo what you're saying, Jack. There is an idea of being a yes and person. Have you guys heard of that? Jack, do you know what I mean? Just being a yes and.
Please go ahead. No,
right?
Please go.
Instead of a no, but. Like, there's two kinds of people. There's a yes and. So you're taking what we're giving you right now and you're saying, yes, let me do this. And let me move forward with it. Or you could be no, but, which is like saying, okay, let me poke holes into it and see all the reasons it won't happen. And look at what Jack and Michelle have done. They have taken that yes and attitude and they have built it into an 8-figure business, right? So we're telling you guys, we're sort of the proof here that these kind of things do work, and we're sharing these great gifts with you. This is a great opportunity. This is a Christmas gift of 8 different strategies. And I want to influence you guys to be yes and during this period of time. I hope that resonates with some people.
Love that.
And I hope you take that and really go with it, because it really
Who is going to be a yes and is willing to suspend disbelief for just a few days while we step by step by step by step show you exactly how this works. Now, by the way, with the tax deed auctions, you don't even have to worry about why they do this.
Right.
The simple fact is they do. Now, here's the thing. Are there garbage properties coming up for these auctions? Yes, absolutely. That's why the due diligence is so important, guys. I'm not saying, to be very, very clear and honest and straightforward to you, one thing I'm promising you over these 8 days, we're not going to bullshit you. Right? You're not going to tell you, blah, 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 this is also simple, blah, blah, blah. It is simple, but it requires, like anything, any skill, it requires a tool belt, it requires a tool set, it requires preparation. It's like climbing a mountain, right? You want to climb a mountain, you want to have a team around you, you want to have a guide with you, you want to train up for that. But once you climb the mountain, the beautiful of that, with the strategies, that you only have to climb a few mountains to be set for life. But we're not going to bullshit you. So is there, with this particular strategy, is there garbage properties out there? Yes, absolutely, there's garbage properties out there. As a matter of fact, let me share you some examples of those. Let me share you some examples. So what if I now go, let's say, what if I go into a different area? Let's say this was the Falls County. Let me see. There's a website called taxdeedbuyer.com that actually has a list of auctions that are coming up. Look at that. In Washington, these are all the auctions that are coming up right there. So if I go into one of these, like for example, King County, where's King County, King County, Washington? King County, Washington is actually Seattle. So King County is a difficult county to go after because it includes all of Seattle, but it also includes all of this area outside of Seattle. So you're going to have some people that are some properties that are going to face a lot of competition, but also some properties that are not. So if I go into King County's properties are going to be, they're going to be bid by the auction is going to be actually run by Bid for Assets. And Bid for Assets here, there's a list of their properties here. Let me see. Where is it? Vacant land list. King County. Let me just reload that. I had prepared that already to be a little bit faster, but it just took a little longer.
Sure.
Click here for parcel map. I don't know what I put there, parcel map. So actually, we're just going to go backwards here into that. And King County, just click on this here. It should come up here. There's 29 parcels being for sale in King County. And if I go here, it goes, actually, I think this goes, you can start here. The properties and the sale date is here. Again, there's a map for that, but all right, there we go. This is already a property. There we go. Now here we are. So here's the list of their properties. Like if I pull up one of these property, for example, this has a minimum bid of $1,100. And somewhere here, I can click on a map and parcel map. I can click on the parcel map, and when it comes up, it'll show me. Where is the parcel map? There's too many things coming up. So there we go. You click here for parcel map. That's what I want to do. So now I'm going up. Now look at this thing. This is essentially this little triangle here.
Yeah.
So this is obviously a parcel you do not want to bid on because it's just this little triangle. It's also almost like what's called a measuring error. It's like 3 feet by 50 feet or something like that. That is not a parcel you want to dig in. But what you're going to do here is you're going to go parcel by parcel. You're going to look at the first one. You're going to look at the second one. You're going to look at the third one. And soon enough, you come across one that looks like this. And this one has an assessed value of $105,000. And the minimum bid for this property is $10,000. Jackpot.
Yeah.
Jackpot, guys. You got it? So again, with this strategy, you don't just want to bid on stuff blind. That's the worst you can do.
No.
But the beauty of it is free county information at your fingertips, free county aerial pictures at your fingertips, free property information at your fingertips. What you need to know is that these auctions exist, when these auctions are happening, what properties are coming up for auction. You need to have access to the details of these properties, and then you need to have a research sheet, a due diligence sheet, where you go and say, what do you want to do? Focus on the rural counties, focus on land auctions where they have low minimum bids, get a list of the properties, identify the property, do the property due diligence, property value, how fast properties sell in that area, utilities, zoning, if there's in swampland, if there's environmental issues and things like that. And once you've checked those things, you say, okay, great, this works. Now you potentially even send somebody to the property. Because I've heard some horror stories, somebody, particularly if you're considering working on land, working on houses, like, because this works for houses too. I've heard some story where somebody attended the tax deed auction, bid on a house, didn't realize that the house had burned down before the auction.
Oh my goodness.
So you don't want to do that, right? Because now you're thinking you're buying a house and they're really buying a burnt down lot. So what you want to do, there's people like WeGoLook.com that for a few bucks you can send to the property. For 50 or 100 bucks, they can go, they take pictures of the property for you, they send it back to you. Now you have verified all the background, you have pictures of the property, and now you attend the auctions.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. Now you attend the auctions. And now when you attend the auction, you, by the way, 80, 90, no, probably 90% plus of these tax deed auctions can now be attended virtually. There's a few states where some counties are still operating in a physical form. So you have to fly there and attend that, which is a double-edged sword. One thing,
Right.
it's well,
Could
it
be
costs
good.
you more money to go there.
Yeah, right.
But on the other hand, how much less competition is there going to
Yes,
be
absolutely.
if
A
everyone
lot
has to be
less.
showing up in person?
Yeah. And if you happen
I-
to live near one of those, then you have a, double benefit, right? You can just go over there.
Exactly right.
Right.
Or you can hire somebody to attend the auction for you, give him
Yeah.
a limited power of attorney to bid for you, or they
Right.
also allow you to do proxy bids, like sealed envelope with a bid
Yeah.
amount and an attached cashier's check. Now, the only downside of this strategy, guys, is that you have to you need cash to buy these
You need
properties.
to buy it. Mhm.
You need to buy it. So
Yeah.
typically you can attend the auction, you have to bid some kind of a minimum deposit online on a credit card or so. But then once the auction is over, they'll charge your credit card, or you have to wire the funds within usually anywhere between 24 hours and a week. And if you don't, you get banned for life from that auction. But here's the thing. When you work with us, and for example, for those that work with us in our coaching programs, you don't even have to worry about that. Because we can provide you the funds, or we can put you with a funding partner that actually can bring you the funds to actually buy those properties with you. Now, obviously, it depends on the deal and so on, but these strategies all work without you having to use a dollar of your own money.
Yeah.
Now, who is excited about that?
It's all exciting.
Who is excited about that? Great. So Michelle, with that said, you guys understand who likes this Christmas gift this Christmas gift number one today? A way to identify properties,
Good
identify auctions, identify properties. Again, you're looking for the properties with a high value, with a low minimum bid, that are land in areas with low competition but high demand. And then you go after those, you do your due diligence, everything from home, you register for the auction, you bid online on these auctions, you become the winning bidder, and then you turn around and you sell it using our proven selling strategies, like finding a top realtor in the area, putting it on different places. Like Michelle, where would you go sell these kind of properties?
Yeah. I mean, I love using realtors. That's one of my things that I love to do, as Jack said, but I also use things like Facebook Marketplace. I use land.com. There are several other websites where we can get things listed. If I have a commercial property, it would be something like loopnet.com. So we have buyers lists, guys. We send to neighbors. We have all different strategies we use once we get a property we want to market. We have sort of this whole strategy that we use, including several different websites and several different campaigns that we do. So it's basically a rinse and repeat kind of a strategy. And the people are out there, the people looking for the parcels. I've sold a couple of parcels just this week on one street in a particular area of Texas. And I have people coming to me saying, do you have more in that area? So, I'm going back into that area now, right? And I'm going to find more parcels right along that same area. And now I have this buyer's list that I can just say, hey, guess what, guys? Now I have the ones that you've been looking for, and I'll probably sell them right away.
Exactly right. So again, these strategies simply work.
Yeah.
Now, in order to make them work, you have to actually take some action, and you have to become a person that other people can rely on. You have to become a person that puts themselves and their families first, right? And that's what we want to influence you. You want to become a person of influence. Because here's the thing, in this strategy particularly, there's very little that you need to communicate with other people about. Like you simply go online, you do what we just saw there. You go find a bigger city, you go around it, in a state where tax deeds are happening. You go around it, you go into the more rural areas around it. You click on Google Maps, find out what county that is. You Google that county, you find a list of it. Or you go to this one of these websites I shared with you that have an entire list of upcoming auctions, and you look at when they come up. If they're a few weeks from now, you have plenty of time. You go look up these auctions and look at property until you find like 5, 10, 15 properties that you like. You do the due diligence on them, all from at home, all without talking to anyone. Eventually, perhaps 1 or 2 phone calls to a county kind of planning and zoning department just to make sure, or to like the environmental department to make sure that there's like no, to find out about utilities and things like that. Once you figure this all out, then you have your list and you simply register and you attend to your auctions. But going beyond that, guys, when you do this beyond that into the strategies we teach you tomorrow about the niches, right? Tomorrow we teach you a sub-strategy of our core strategy that we teach, how to go after some of our most profitable niches. You need to become a person of influence. And the first person that you need to influence is yourself.
Right.
And by influencing yourself, you need to be, what I mean by that is, you need to become a person that the world and yourself can rely on. Like we are spending so much time, guys, on just wasting so much time on entertaining ourselves. Like, you know those little tools, like those little things with the social media on it, like here? Like how many hours are we all wasting on that kind of stuff? Yes. And what that takes from us is really the time to build experience. The time to actually experiment with things, the time to actually go and do what I just taught you, spend a half an hour tonight, instead of being on social media, instead of watching Monday Night Football, instead of watching Dancing with the Stars, you simply go and say like, okay, let me watch the replay of the session and let me follow along with Jack one more time and do these exact same steps. I tell you, if you do that, you might have deals already on your short list. You might be already attending auctions this week, placing bids on properties this week, and being the proud owner of a property at 10, 20, or 30 cents on the dollar by this time next week.
I love it.
Right? That is the power of taking action and the power of being a person of influence, influencing yourself. But you also want to influence others. Like you want to influence, because ultimately we want to influence you to become that person. Because once you become that person, you step up in the ladder of life. You step up and you become that person that other people want to be around. You become that person that actually says, yes, I will do this. And then people know that it's done because you said so.
Right.
Right? Who is excited about becoming that person that others can rely on? And if you're not yet today, then it's time to become that today. So one of the things we want to do every day here is homework. So we're going to give you homework. And we're going to give you the homework today is going to be a little bit different. But first, the homework is around a concept that we call, well, really not a concept, but a concept around, let's talk about the concept of why. Like, why do you want this?
Right.
Like you're here, there's 400 people here. Why do these 400 people why you guys, every single one of you, it doesn't matter if these 399, I'm talking to you specifically. Yeah. Why do you want to break through in real estate? Why do you want to have success in real estate? Right? To make more money. Wonderful. Well, here's $1. You have more money. Can you be more specific than that?
Yeah.
How much money do you want to make?
Generational wealth. I'm seeing that in the comments.
What does generational wealth mean? Is generational wealth that each of your generation has $100? Or is every generation has $1 million? Or each generation has $1 billion? Or is it $10 million? What does it mean? Right. And why is it important?
Freedom.
For how many years have you said that generational wealth is what you want? For how many years have you said that more money is what you want? For how many years have you said that you need the money to get into better health, to quit your job, to have the time of your life, right? For how many years have you said that? The reason why you might have not accomplished this yet is because you don't have a big enough why behind it. Mm-hmm. When Michelle and I started, Michelle, what was your why that you made this so big so quickly?
Yeah, my why was really because I felt that I needed to create a financial security for myself and my sons who were going to college in a couple of years. So I really was motivated by a specific thing. I wanted to be able to pay their college. I wanted to be in a position where I wasn't nervous about that. And so my sons were really the driving force for me. And the fact that they were heading into a period of their lives where I knew I would need to be able to fund it. And I wanted to be able to fund that with ease and with grace. And that really resonated very much with me.
And time, I mean, you couldn't wait another 5 years because on a teacher salary, having to pay 2 private colleges is not simple.
No.
Right?
Right.
Like these private colleges cost like $100,000 a year.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you can't do that, and you don't if you don't want your kids to just automatically graduate with $400,000 worth of
Yes.
student debt, then that builds pressure.
Right.
Pressure is a good thing
Yes.
if used for the
creates
right
diamonds,
thing.
right?
Right? It creates
creates
diamonds.
diamonds.
It's something, it's useful. So
Yeah.
what you want to do in order to have the guts, in order to have the motivation, in order to have what it takes, in order to propel you forward, is to have a big enough why. So the homework for today is going to be, what is your deepest why? And please don't take that easy, because here's what we're going to do. We're going to have three sets of homework, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And we're going to do two things amongst those that participate in today's homework. We're going to raffle off two things. Number one is a book bundle. And number two, and you guys know we do have educational programs. We'll talk about them later in the week. But we are going to give you, it's also Cyber Monday. So we are going to give one person that we're going to raffle this one off. And we also raffle off a $500 land box discount to any of our programs off if you do the homework today. Now, if you do the homework today and tomorrow, between those that do the homework today and tomorrow, we're going to raffle off $1,000 worth of land bucks tomorrow, and we're going to raffle off $5,000 worth of land bucks for somebody that does today's homework, tomorrow's homework, and Wednesday's homework. Right? So make sure you guys do those three, or Mondays, Tuesday, do the next three homeworks. So make sure you do those homeworks. But in addition, of course, somebody also will win this book bundle. Now, what is this book bundle about? Its first book is about, just as we start with why. Simon Sinek, Start with Why. It's a fantastic book about the power of why. If you have the right why, the how is not a problem. The why needs to be so big that it overwhelms everything. When Michelle and I came to this country, when we started working for the man, we were separated 24/7 because I was traveling 100%. My dad's health was declining. We hated our lives, right? We hated we loved each other. We hated our lives. We were not able to see our families in Europe and in Honduras. Each of those things became a reason why, and we stacked those whys. We got more and more, excuse my language, pissed off. We got more and more upset. We got more and more angry. We got more and more unwilling to endure all these tolerations of life. And because of that, we took what it takes. That was so much pressure that created artificially so much pressure that it gave us the power, it gave us the motivation, it gave us the thing to figure this land business out. And within 6 months of figuring out the land business out, we quit our jobs. Within 12 months, between 18 months, we were millionaires. Within 3 years, we had built this into an 8-figure business. The power of why is one of the most crucial things that you can focus on. Number 2 is extreme ownership. Guys, if you don't own your own success, if you don't own your own responsibility, if you're a person that's full of excuses, nobody wants to be around people that make excuses.
Right.
People want to be around people that take ownership. For the failures, for the successes, you want to take ownership. If you screwed up in the past, you screwed up in the past. It happens. Dust yourself off, get up again. You can't succeed without failing.
Yeah.
Only when you fail do you know if you have what it takes to get back up. Extreme ownership is what it takes. You got to own your life. You got to own your decisions. Nobody's coming to rescue you. We're here to move you. We're here to influence you. We're here to get you into action. We're here to talk to you some uncomfortable truths in order for you to be jolted into action. But ultimately, it's your choice, right? Number 3, Never Split the Difference. Fantastic negotiation book. Just chapter 2 or 3 of this book has one time allowed me to have a meeting and somebody could write me $1 million check for because of that book. Tony Robbins, Unshakable, great financial book. And number last but not least, Buy Back Your Time. It's a management book. It's a book about how to scale and so on. So somebody's going to win this book. And the homework is, what is your deepest why? And here's how the homework works, guys. After this session is over, we're going to go put into the Facebook group, and the Facebook group is called Land Profit Nation. If you go to Land Profits with a $ nation, so the last S of profits is a $ Land Profits Nation, into that Facebook group, join the Facebook group. You find the homework post, and underneath the homework post, you press comment and you put in the answer to the question, what is your deepest why and why does it matter right now? Why is it important for you to do this right now, to start getting in real estate, start taking responsibility of your life, something? Because guys, let me tell you about something. AI revolution is coming. Now, in a good way, we're going to share with you over the course of the week some incredible AI solutions that will simplify your land life exponentially. But from a job point of view, the AI world will probably take a good 40% of Americans' job. Yeah. Now, what do you do to prepare for that? You build a second leg to stand on. Most people won't realize what changed until it's too late. When robots are mainstream, biotech will be rewriting what it means to age, AI will be embedded in everything you touch, and most likely you won't have a job anymore, or your job will be completely different. But there's a window of time right now. So window of time right now where you can make as much money as possible, and you have that money explode in value, right? And live a life of absolute abundance. That's another reason why right now the timing is so important.
Very
right?
true.
So this is so crucial. Now, as a matter of fact, let me just show it with you. Before we finish up, we have a couple more things I want to show you. Let me show you a video of two of our students that actually have taken action. And they're not necessarily using this strategy, but they're using some of the other strategies we'll cover over the course of the week. But let's quickly play that video and then we'll be right back to finish this up. Barb, okay, there we go.
We've had your LPG program. Jack, we've had it now for quite a few years, and we were just in a place where we have other businesses, and I was like, wouldn't it be nice if we could just have just a little bit of extra cash flow? It was like kind of like $3,000 to $5,000 a month extra was kind of like the goal to start. I said, let's go visit the LPG. We've had it for a while. We haven't done it. Let's take it on. Maybe we could do this little tiny spread of cash, and we can do it anywhere in the world. And well, I guess we've far exceeded that little bit of extra spread of cash. But yeah, that's the whole thing, is to be able to travel and do it wherever we are in the world.
We followed the steps just like you told us to do. And in a very short period of time, built relationship with a seller and put a piece of land under contract.
Now, how much are you making on that piece?
Just over $155,000. Yeah. We're going to turn this into a business so that it operates very smoothly without us, because one of our big whys is to spend time, much like you folks do with your family, is traveling and seeing the world and doing fun things. It's one of the reasons the two of us are together, is because we love to adventure and we love to travel. So we are designing it. We are focusing less on what's going out of the business and really on what's going inside the business right now.
Right, there we go. So Amy and Rome have taken action. Amy and Rome are doing what I'm asking you to do starting today already. I want you to put into the homework exactly what is your why, but I also want you to, I want you to rewatch today's session and follow along, download the tax deed process sheet, and just go verify that what we talked to you today is actually true. Go find a bunch of these auctions. Go to bidforassets.com and look for tax deed auctions. Go find some. Look at Texas. Look at Florida. Look at California. Look at Utah. Look at all these different places. Let me share again my screen here for a moment. Like right here, there's like some of these places. Where were we here? Here's one of them. Look at that. This is just there's an auction calendar. Look at that. This is the different states. California has tax deed auctions. Kansas has tax deed auction. Minnesota, New Mexico, North Carolina, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, Washington. All of these have auctions coming up in the next few weeks and few months. So there's an abundance of those that you can pick, and you can see, look at that. When is this coming up in Virginia? Tomorrow, December 2nd, December 4th, December 10th, December 11th, December 16th, December 17th, December 18th. So there is auctions coming up right now in the next few days and few weeks that you can do exactly what I just walked you through. Look at them step by step, identify the properties that you want to make offers on, and then attend tomorrow, because then now you know that this is true, that this works. Right? Again, we want you to, this is a gift. Every day is a gift for you. This was gift number 1. Tomorrow, gift number 2 is more around our core strategy. Now, our core strategy, we can use direct mail, we can use cold calling, we can use texting. We can scale this. You can scale this to 20 deals, 50 deals, 100 deals, several hundred deals a year. The sky's the limit. It's only up to you and how much business systems are you willing to put in. One of our former students is now building a $10 million company right now, using the strategies that we're going to talk about over the course of the week. And you know what? He's also applying some of the tax deed strategies, because as he comes across properties that are coming up at tax deed auctions, why not? Why not attend it? Why not bid it? So what our goal here is, over the course of this week, build up a tool belt for you of multiple strategies that you can use to be dangerous out there, that you can use to get deals under contract, and you can use to be a person of influence, to influence buyers, influence sellers, influence counter official. Influencers move, right? So we want to move you this week. You have to connect. I hope you're connecting with us here. I hope you're connecting with it in a way that we can influence you to move and take action, because right now December is the best possible month to plan for 2026.
It really is. I know.
Right, Michelle?
I feel that. I feel that there's an influence happening today. I feel like the energy from you guys is really good. It seems like a great group. I'm super excited for you guys to take that action and take this one strategy and keep going throughout the 8 days of Christmas and learn all of the strategies and see which one works best for you, or maybe 2 or 3 work best for you. You know, I want you guys to take it and run with it.
Yes. And somebody else says, there tax deed auctions in Arizona? No, but yes, there's one. So Arizona is a tax lien state. So Arizona, this doesn't work in Arizona, except for once a year, there's what's called the Board of Supervisors sale, where where people bought tax liens and didn't foreclose on them, after a certain time, those tax liens expire, and then the property still falls to the county, and then to the state, and the state does this Board of Supervisors sale. But go look, this is a strategy you do virtually, guys. Because the beauty of this is, the beauty of land, guys, just let me say that in summary. The beauty of land is that you don't have to be there.
Right.
You don't have to go inspect it. No. You don't have to go see if there's mold, if there's roof repairs, if there's holes in the roof, if there's foundation issues, if the kitchen is in good shape, if the electric is in good shape. None of these things, because it's just land. So all you need to be able to see is the value. Does it have road access? Does it have utilities? Does it have environmental issues? You can find it out at the EPA.gov website. Perhaps have somebody drive by, take some pictures if you really want to. Otherwise, Google Street View does that for you too. Yeah. And then, and more than anything, it's about value estimating. That's why land is actually so much simpler than houses. Because we don't deal with tenants, toilets, and termites. We don't deal with squatters. We don't deal with repairs. We don't deal with construction. We don't deal with crews. We don't deal with building permits. We won't deal with any of those kind of things. We simply focus on taking a piece of land that's worth $100,000, like in that one example, and that has a minimum bid of $10,000. And if we can get that thing for anywhere between $10,000 and $35,000, we can borrow the money if we need to buy the property, put it up on the market for $65,000, go sell it with a realtor, go sell it on social media, go sell it on different platforms, on land.com. In a matter of 2 to 4 weeks, sell that property very quickly and make a $30,000 profit. Anyone okay with that? Anyone okay with taking a property that the owners no longer want? Perhaps they passed away, perhaps they're heirs, perhaps they just don't want to pay the property taxes anymore. Right. Take it, put it on a contract, bid it at auction for $20,000, $25,000, $30,000, get it, Sell it for $60,000, make a $30,000 profit without touching the property, without seeing the property, without doing anything to the property, and doing this from the comfort of your home. That's what this strategy today was about.
Yeah.
Right? So with that said, guys, that's strategy number one. Is that a good start? Tomorrow, we're going to talk about how to make money with some of our best niches out there.
Yes.
We're going to talk about RV lots. We're going to talk about mobile home properties. We're going to talk about, I'm not going to disclose all the different things you do, but some of the riches are in the niches.
Right.
So be prepared for tomorrow. I'm super excited to share that with you. Thank you, Michelle, for being my co-host today. You're obviously doing all these different strategies with, and particularly for the larger properties. What's your biggest profit that you have made so far on a deal?
My biggest profit was close to 150,000 on one property.
$150,000. Is this
Yeah.
somebody's like, this is a bubble or undiscovered area? Undiscovered area.
Yeah.
There's 160 million pieces of land in the United States.
Right.
60% of them are in private ownership. That's about 95%, $95 million, 95 million pieces of land. At any given time, about 3 to 4% of those are properties that the owners just simply don't want anymore for any reasons. Like passed away, inherited, went through divorce, life plans change, don't have the money to pay property taxes anymore, whatever the reason is.
Right.
These properties, are in any given time, there's 3 to 4 million pieces of land. Yet how many people do you know that go after land?
Yeah.
Not many.
No.
But how many people are looking for land? Land is the new gold.
Yeah.
Land is the desirable. Land is up there with solar panels, with Starlink. Even the most
Yeah.
remote piece of land now is accessible. You can spend weeks there with full access to everything. It is absolutely on fire. With people working from home, more people move outside of the towns. More people move into rural areas. More people move into where they have more space and we have peace and quiet, right? And we're trying to talk about that much more tomorrow. This is an underutilized kind of market. It's an underserviced market.
Yeah.
And you can be getting in on the ground floor and make a fortune right now in this crucial time. In the next 3 years is the time for you to make money. If you can make the money of your lifetime in the next 3 years, you're going to be set for life. With that said, to go do the homework today, again, we're raffling off. If you make one person is going to get the book bundle,
Awesome.
and then
book
one
bundle.
person is also going to get $500 of land bucks used towards any of our programs. Of course, obviously we have programs. Obviously, we're going to talk about some of our programs later on in the week.
Yeah.
But this entire 8 days is 100% free information every day, one strategy to the level of detail that I did today. So
That's
if
a
you want to
gift.
learn these strategies, just be there. And then for some of you, we're going to issue an invitation. If you want to join us in one of our programs, of course, you're welcome to do that. And again, somebody's going to get a $500 discount of that. Somebody's going to get $1,000 towards any of our programs. Somebody's going to get $5,000 towards that. But in order to get the 1,000 or the 5,000, you're going to do today's homework, tomorrow's homework, and then the next day's homework.
Yeah.
And that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Michelle. See you guys tomorrow.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Jack. Bye, everybody.